What are the main political trends and economic changes in Southern Africa from the 1990s until today? This is a theme for a workshop organized by the Nordic Africa Institute and the Swedish Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Researchers, practitioners and analysts have gathered to discuss the issues of poverty and inequality, of media and democracy, and of the growing tendencies towards populist authoritarianism in Southern Africa.
Now we are beginning to understand better the type of society that was the outcome of the liberation struggle in Southern Africa.
Well, the Institute wants to be on top of the discussion on African development. We want to be the one who offers this platform for dialogue.
Since the 1990s, when there was a major global transition, with the fall of the Berlin Wall, and you had increased democratization on the region, people are now reflecting more than 20 years on to say, well, what has changed? Has there been a shift? Has it become much more open and democratic? But importantly, also, has it resulted in people's lives being made better?
Overall, within the region, we're seeing slower growth. We're seeing the resource dividend hasn't trickled down, particularly to the youth and to parts of the rural areas. And this, again, can lead to more difficult transitions because demands for economic benefits and demands for political accountability are increasing at the same time as the economic dividend seems to be slowing.
There's been quite a lot of talk around economic development. Certainly for Zimbabwe, our economy has collapsed over the last 20 years, and it's been the focal point, I think, in terms of how do we now move forward as a country after Mugabe.
What we achieved with the liberation was what I call a middle-class revolution. So what we have been seeing developing in Southern Africa is not entrepreneurs. We're seeing a middle class that is reproducing the colonial systems of exploiting the natural resources of Southern Africa.
Everything is changing right now. I think if you look at what happened in Zimbabwe, well, if you just look at the last year, the change in Zimbabwe, where for the first time in 37 years we have a new leader, essentially, in Zimbabwe, though the same party. We've seen changes, obviously, in South Africa with Jacob Zuma leaving. We've seen a new leader in Botswana. So from a political perspective, there's been a lot of change in terms of the personality that's at the top.
People, the mass of the people, especially the young people, are no longer sold on the old narrative that they must keep quiet and just enjoy the fruits of post-liberation.